The void of deep space stretches infinitely, cold and silent. Distant stars flicker like dying embers in the dark, offering no warmth to the vacuum. A metallic, jagged object drifts through the abyss, its surface absorbing all light, a shadow against the backdrop of the cosmos. It does not tumble or drift with the random momentum of a meteor. It glides with intent. It adjusts its trajectory, cutting through the silence with a precision that defies the laws of physics. Ahead, the blue marble of Earth pulses with life, a vibrant, glowing sphere suspended in the abyss. The entity closes the distance, its form stark against the swirling clouds and deep oceans of the planet below. It reaches the edge of the atmosphere, halting its momentum instantly. It hangs there, a silent sentinel in high orbit, motionless. The entity begins its scan, a subtle vibration emanating from its core that ripples through the thin air. It is here to measure. The scan begins. A silent, invisible wave cascades downward, piercing through clouds and crust alike. It bypasses the primitive settlements and the sprawling forests, seeking the source of the hum. Beneath the surface, the planet reveals its secret. Deep within hidden valleys and protected mountain basins, ancient cities emerge from the data stream. These are not ruins. They are thriving metropolises of gold and translucent crystal, glowing with a soft, rhythmic intensity. The architecture defies gravity, with spires reaching toward the sky, anchored by nothing but pure, harnessed energy. Here, the inhabitants have mastered the fundamental forces of the universe. They manipulate light and matter to build structures that hum with a constant, resonant frequency. The entity tracks the flow of this power, tracing the conduits that run like veins beneath the city streets. It is a network of immense capacity, a reservoir of potential that has been accumulating for centuries. The entity pauses its descent, hovering over a central spire that acts as the heart of the grid. It is a masterpiece of engineering, a pinnacle of civilization. The entity pulses. A ripple of raw, discordant energy erupts from its core, tearing through the ionosphere like a blade through parchment. High above the metropolis, the sky undergoes a violent transformation. The familiar blue fades, replaced by a bruised, sickly violet that bleeds across the horizon. The interference hits the city grid instantly. In the heart of the metropolis, the ambient glow of the streets flickers, stuttering in a frantic, dying rhythm. Massive conduits that once hummed with steady power begin to whine, the frequency rising to a piercing shriek. Lights in the crystal towers die in cascading waves, plunging entire districts into sudden, jarring darkness. The ground beneath the city begins to tremble, a low-frequency vibration that rattles the foundations. Automated defense systems flare to life, casting desperate beams of light into the darkening sky, but they find no target. The energy grid is failing. Panic erupts in the streets below. Citizens look up to see the violet sky swirling with unnatural currents, the air itself crackling with static. The tremors grow sharper, cracking the stone plazas and toppling the smaller monuments. The metropolis is no longer a sanctuary, it is a trap. The entity descends. It drops through the upper atmosphere, a silent, jagged shadow against the violet sky. Below, the city's protective shield hums with a desperate, oscillating frequency, throwing up a barrier of light to repel the intruder. The entity does not slow. It drives forward, its surface vibrating with a frequency that matches the shield's own resonance. For a heartbeat, the two forces collide, a blinding flare of white light erupting at the point of contact. The shield shudders, its geometry warping under the pressure, before it finally snaps like brittle glass. The entity passes through the breach, descending directly reach. The city is being hollowed out. The final spark within the spire flickers. A dying ember fighting against the encroaching void. The entity pulls harder. A sound like grinding tectonic plates echoes through the city as the central core shatters, its crystal lattice turning to gray dust. Without the sustaining hum of the energy grid, the city loses its cohesion. The golden spires, once vibrant and warm, turn brittle in an instant. Crack spiderweb across the plazas, spreading with the speed of a breaking wave. Buildings that have stood for millennia begin to sag, their structural integrity dissolving into the cold air. The stone turns porous and gray, shedding layers of debris that tumble into the silent streets. Below, the once bustling metropolis is reduced to a graveyard of jagged, lifeless monuments. The entity reacts to the influx of power. Its jagged, light-absorbing surface begins to glow. Internal currents of stolen energy swirling beneath its skin. It swells, its silhouette expanding. The entity, now saturated and radiant, remains suspended above the wreckage, a terrifying monument to the harvest it has just completed. The entity pulls its dark tendrils free from the shattered spire. It rises, drifting upward through the cooling atmosphere, leaving the gray ruins behind in the silence. It accelerates, passing the moon, and settles into a fixed position at the edge of the solar system. Here, it becomes a shadow among the stars, indistinguishable from the void. It does not move. It does not signal. It simply watches the